In many ways, Irish linen has always been a part of my own personal story. I grew up around stories of my uncle, my great aunt and my granny and granda who worked in the linen mill.
This is my sister Jean here, and these are the people she worked with in the Paul Costello. That's a good photo.
Because Jean would have made a lot of like my costumes, like our costumes for going to school and stuff. Oh really?
Let's put it this way, they would have arrived at any time at night looking at it for the next morning.
Yeah, for sure.
And she would have sat up half the night doing it.
Growing up around those stories really kind of impacted me, and I guess it was a bit of a window into a moment in time that as I looked around as a little girl, I see no real evidence of that, and I guess even from that young age I kind of really had a desire to see kind of that revived again. I guess in many ways you could say that's where Kindred was born, at that really early stage.
Looking at Winnie there, shot would have probably have been, I would have said, in the late 40s, 48, 49. Winnie then would have been roughly about 20 or so. 20? 1920.
Would she have knitted that cardigan herself?
Well, she might have made that cardigan, or the sister Jean was the knitter and my mother, rather than Winnie in the family.
Yeah. So fast forward to when I was leaving school, I had a pretty strong sense that I wanted to study fashion and textiles, but I wasn't 100% sure, so I decided to take a gap year. And during my gap year I worked for part of it, and then I spent 6 months split between California and China. And during my time in China I volunteered with an organisation that were working with individuals who've been affected by human trafficking, and specifically they were teaching them to make jewellery. We helped with things like English classes, and I guess during that time experiencing what those people had gone through, and specifically around the idea of creativity being so healing, and for people who've experienced that kind of trauma, that was something that really deeply impacted me. And as a creative myself, I really wanted to explore how those two kind of passions of mine could come together, and I guess that was where that relationship with Flourish really started.
We launched the concept of the Sew and Skill programme at Culture Night in 2019, a programme which not only taught sewing skills but also employability skills. The bag is our signature Kindred X Flourish bag, and really fully launched the wonderful partnership that we have today. I'd like to share some quotes from those who have been involved in the Sew and Skill programme. It's hard for me to switch off my mind. Sewing for me helps me do that. It's really relaxing for me, so sometimes I will sit and sew for hours. While I'm here, I feel good and I like to be involved. My first reason is being happy here. I never thought that I would be able to make a bag like this. I am so pleased. Kindred also financially supports Flourish from every sale of their beautiful pieces, and for this we are so very grateful. At a time when as a charity our donations and fundraising have diminished, having the ability to continually run our Sew and Skill programme has been wonderful and so important to those that we support.
So back in 2018 I was given the opportunity to create a small collection for a local shop. I wanted pieces to kind of honour the craftsmanship and the heritage of our past, but also feel fresh and new and fun, and something that you would want to wear, and also something that you could wear, your mother could wear, your grandmother could wear, and things that feel quite intergenerational and easy to throw on, but pieces that still have that feeling of almost like an heirloom, so they will feel really special to you. You'll want to treasure them, you'll want to hold on to them and pass them down to your children, but also pieces that have a place in your everyday wardrobe, and that feel comfortable, that feel that you can kind of show your personality through what you're wearing. That then led on to creating the Folklore Collection, which consisted of processes that were kind of more complex. So things like beetling, I used techniques like smocking and quilting to add texture and depth to the fabrics, so that almost when you look at those pieces from that collection, you wouldn't necessarily think that they're linen, and they don't look very traditional. And I guess that in many ways is the beauty of limiting ourselves to only using Irish linen, and it means that we can then explore all options within that and create something that maybe hasn't been thought of before. And I guess moving forward with Kindred, that's something that really excites me, and kind of exploring what we can do, you know, different processes that we can use, and I guess that feels really exciting for Kindred moving forward, kind of working with local mills and really reviving those skills that have been passed on through generations, and really breathing new life into what they have already kind of have achieved.